Go live. Do it. Do it. Hey guys.
We're wearing our football stuff.
We'll talk about that in a moment.
Yeah, it's not going to be very good.
You can probably judge by the title. I was trying to be ever so. Oh, look at this. That video, full on bull, whatever. Diane's channel. It's private.
Dirty deleted.
I privated it.
I privated that one.
In fact, it just happened to be on my screen. I wasn't doing drama. It just happened to be on my screen. Let me get to our channel and our stream, guys. Let me get to it so I can see you beautiful people. Why is it not
We
showing?
privated. What are we going to do about all these people ganging up on us now?
I know. Okay. Here we go.
What
Now
are we
I can
going to
see
do
you.
about Savage
Megan.
and ATX and Pirate and FOD and Republican Ash? They're all ganging up on us now. We didn't expect that to
That's a
happen.
beautiful voice. It's a beautiful
We didn't
voice.
expect that to
Hey,
happen.
hey, Megan and Super Nurse RN, how are you?
We cast them out of the DC.
Hey, Diane, how are you?
We got to find somewhere else to go.
Stop. Do a different tone.
You don't like that?
Not the tone. It's like,
She's like, I actually got her to go, no.
I don't
Stop,
care
stop,
about
stop.
the whatever. Hey, Pearls of Wisdom, how are you? Christina Sapphire, I'm going to assume that you are some sort of troll from the
because
other camp. I would love to wrench you. I'm not going to boot you, but I'm not going to give you a wrench because I just can't. But it's nice to
Pearls
see
of
you.
Wisdom.
No. Well, why then is your name, are you just being a troll name of the other one?
Just hang out for a while. We're pretty good judges of that, and so is
Let me
our-
see what her Avi is, and that'll let us know. Not anything like.
So I had to take one for the team today and go live instead of
That's
watching
probably true. She's probably
Tom
already-
Brady's. Tom Brady is debuting right now for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and
Hey Presley.
but we have to
We'll
be
give her a
here,
go.
and that's good.
Um,
You gave her a go?
yeah, I looked at her thing, and she's.
Okay.
I was here before, not into FOD. Yeah, a lot of people are not, and that's okay. I like her. I think she's, as far as me and her, she's okay. She seems to have taken the raw end with a friend she thought she had.
Yep.
But everybody is right to their own opinion.
But she stood up to her, and that's what we rallied behind. Is that you got to stand up to these people. You can't let them bulldog you over there. So
Hey, crazy
stand
side
up.
piece, how are you? FOD is full on drama. Presley, we love you too. I'm so glad that you made it. You don't have to work today, and I am glad that we were able to get on so we could entertain you and touch base with you.
Presley, Braves just won.
The Braves
8-4.
won, but you know who else won? You know who else won?
Stop it.
The Seahawks won. They spanked the Falcons today.
That's what I had to.
Hey, Steffi, how are you?
I had to get over it real quick so I
Thank
could
you,
go live
Irish.
because my Falcons played her Seahawks and her Seahawks won. So I have to get over that.
Oh, you are at work? Okay. Just watched Tammy's video. Man, she's a nut job. Well, and the thing is Janie Austin will probably be like, I can't believe that she said something to her. She's so mentally ill and this and that. Okay, first of all, I didn't even watch her stream. I just saw the title. So my response to it was something that I've had for a really long time. A little clip that I've had, but it happened to be a perfect clapback to the fact that she's judging our relationship. When I say I have a treasure trove of clips, I'm serious. I got a treasure trove of clips.
She really
So that
does.
was my little clapback, and that's why I said on my community page, I'm not, hey Miranda Frost, that's why I said, I'm not, I know she's ill. I got that. She's mentally ill. I get that. But this is custom made for the drama community.
Yeah, it
And
is.
if she's going to put her foot in the water like she does and do some clickbait, then I'm going to do some clickbait too. And I'm going to talk about your mad toward love affair that you had with an inmate.
Right.
So, anyway, it's
a
all
lot,
drama.
A lot of people have come after us in our relationship.
Yeah, I
and
don't
the
have a
fact that
problem
we're-
with her, Michelle.
The fact that we were still married and this and that, but the people that have come after us
both
hardest are the ones that are in extramarital
Yeah.
relationships.
Yeah,
Isn't it
Michelle
true?
says that she adores Tammy, and I have no problem with that. It was a clapback. I have, issues with her that I can't support her. We used to shout her out. before she
got anti-Semitic.
and gotten all that. So
And can't have that.
so it's like when she says, you know, ATX got Sean sloppy seconds, I'm like, okay, it's drama. Well, how about this? You did 5 years for screwing in it.
Yeah.
Anyway, it's all drama.
Tammy goes after, says ATX goes after Sean. It's about what, you know, right here before we're actually married. Tammy, you'd have been right with the rest of the gang if you got on this about a year ago.
Yeah, you're a little bit late.
If you got on this about 1 year ago, you'd have been all over. You'd have been right up in the drama.
That's why it was like, it's all drama. It was
Probably with some support, too.
You got to admit, it was a beautiful clapback if we're
Right?
talking about just straight what?
If she had done it a year ago, she
Yeah.
might have actually got
Yeah.
some Klingons to go with her on
Exactly.
that. So
The other, what eyeliner do I use? It's the Physicians Formula Blackest Black Waterproof Liquid Eyeliner. It's like a pen. That's the one I use. I used to use Stila's liquid liner, but the problem is with that one, it gets coated too quickly with whatever makeup or primer you use, and then you know the darkness doesn't work anymore. Physicians Formula doesn't do that as long as you shake it real well.
Hey, what kind of base do you use?
You know which base I use.
Look, people.
Steffi, someone can put it in the chat which one it is. There you go. Yeah, I'm not gonna say it because someone will take the clip and turn it into a remix of a promotion. No, I'm just kidding. It's Spirit Finder 321. She has a habit of deciding people that she's going to go for, and she stays on them, on them, which is all fine because she has her 40 viewers or whatever she has, and she does her own thing. But Shannon is one of her targets. Used to be the Porch, not so much anymore. Lisa Archie used to be a target of hers.
Pirate.
They're probably friends now.
Pirate for a while.
She just gets on them and she doesn't stop. So if she gets on me and Shauna and doesn't stop, I don't care. Like I said, I didn't even watch the stream. I just got the title and someone told me what was going on, and I said, I think I have a true story of her love affair too. Hold on, let me check, and I did.
Yep.
So we all play drama. That's how it goes.
I like when we were coming back from Atlanta and we were actually driving on the interstate while Tammy was live, and we were on the interstate in her town in Mississippi, and we were like, keep going, go faster, let's get out of this. Remember that?
Well, we were torn between trying to ask her if she wanted to meet up and get going, but she was already attacking so many of the people that we liked that.
Yeah. I mean, because we
weren't going to do a legit meetup.
in a male in the drama type of way, I sort of like William. I sort of like William. He's got his hands full. I get that.
And whenever he goes out of town, like when Sean would go out of town, she
Yes,
comes completely
that's
unglued.
true.
And that's what would happen when Sean went to see his kids. So he kind of has a kinship with William. Not really. They don't talk, but
No, but I mean, like whenever you see some of the guys
Yes, tastes
go
really
off,
bad.
or some of the guys react, like some of the
Casey.
wives, Mandy's always like, "What do you think about that one?" Because there's a handful of guys in the community that have wives that are completely off the chain or shouldn't be on the internet. Tammy's one of them. You look at Janie. So Optoblast tries to defend her in a certain way, and it's like, dude, people mostly watch Janie to watch her have a meltdown, which is sad.
Which is really sad.
They just kind of lurk to see if she's gonna, because she's so easily trolled that, you know, she tries to come with some wisdom, but then the smallest little troll comment, she goes bananas. And that's why they watch her. I understand that.
So apparently, not to get into a whole lot of drama, but receipts were released and things were talked about yesterday between FOD and Randy's stream, then Diane's stream, both going back and forth, that there was that admission that they loved each other on both parts, which is kind of sad because then it went really south, and I don't know the details of it. If their streams aren't deleted, you can look. If FOD comes in here, maybe, you know, I don't think, you know, she wants to necessarily whatever. But yesterday, things were talked about. Receipts were released, and between two dueling live streams, it was revealed that Randy admitted having feelings for FOD, and FOD had feelings for her. Randy, I think, is the one that spilled the tea about the whole thing, and then FOD was like, well, here I am left
Right. Randy tried to save it and tried to say, I'm been married for X amount of years, and that's ridiculous that she thinks this way. But there's a reason why Randy is so bothered by FOD speaking
Karen.
out, because somebody with a channel like Randy shouldn't matter. We get trolled all the time. It's really not that big
Michelle,
a deal.
it's full-on drama. I'm sorry. Full-on drama is that she's got 3. Someone can drop the name if they want to drop the link. She is custom made for our community. She does a lot of trolling. She does a lot of tea spilling only when it's spaced with it. But do you know what? I really like the girl, but I don't know how much of what she says about everything is trolling. She's
And it was
a
really
good
kind
troll.
of she's a really good troll, which kind of made what happened to Randy. If I'm on the outside of it looking in and it's all drama, if they have feelings for each other, that's their business. But I mean, Randy really made a rookie mistake with that, because she got taken and then tried to back off, because I think Randy's got a little bit of an ego and she can't understand when the dogs got reversed on her like it did. And then she tried to save it, but FOD found some people that are going to allow her to have a platform without getting steamrolled by that other side, and she's being heard, and she's being heard by a lot of people.
Well, and
So-
the funny thing is like it's taking into consideration that few people had feelings in this, and that is unfortunate. It was Saturday community drama at its finest, and like I said, it's unfortunate that emotions were involved. But you don't tell me that y'all didn't have both of your electronics going, watching both of those.
The whole internet. If you look at what happened with Boyd last week, with channels getting taken down, and with what happened to Elbow, he deserved it, and then what happened to Sig, which he didn't deserve. There was that going on. You got all the other drama that's going on, and I think that it was for drama. It was a pretty busy week. You've been a busy.
I have been, and
gal.
y'all, I know you guys are like, she is head first in it, and some of you, I've seen some of the comments that you're like, oh, she's not gonna just stream with Sean anymore because she's head first into it. Let me tell you what he finds a little bit sexy.
What?
What you find a little bit sexy is when I rip a new one.
I find it a lot sexy, actually.
There you go.
People have said, people, my detractors say that I have a type. I guess I do, but I mean, I'm like never been in love like this, though. I mean, this is love, and then the rest of it is just like the drama.
But like thank you so much. That's what I'm saying. But he says, when I get on someone's thing and I'm like, I'm gonna jump on FOD's panel real quick, and he's like, okay, and I do it, and Pirate and Savage and I all have a good time, and we say what we say, and we vibe well off of each other. He likes that, and he loves it because I can cut it and be done with it.
The reason why, and you can, Mandi, correct me. I haven't pushed you to go live here. I don't. Between my work and what she's been doing, I am perfectly okay with watching her get together with her girls and doing whatever, and watching her channel grow. Her channel's monetized now. I'm okay with all that, because at the end of the day, it is a female-dominated community, and if you're a guy, I've always said this, and most of the guys tend to agree with me, if you don't understand that we are tools for the girls, for the women's amusement, they use us however they want. Our channel's a little different because we're together for y'all, but in the drama community, the guys we're just kind of like trinkets for the gals. And it's their world, we just kind of fit into it somehow. And I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that.
Let me show you. He's going to sleep. I'll show. I need to show. Michaela wants to see Sir Sawyer.
Well, I'll let her see him.
I'm gonna just show. I won't. Y'all know I'm terrible at like dropping the stream because I'm not careful. But that's him.
It's Papa Power.
That's him.
He's so tired.
He's so tired. He kind of likes us going live because he can snuggle down and go to sleep.
Balls to the wall said, I just popped in, kiddos.
Oh, that might be a good angle. No, I'm just kidding. Hold on. There we go.
So you guys, what do you guys think your team's playing? I mean, just to switch gears for a second. I mean, football's back. Her
It's
team
back.
won. My team lost. Tom
Got
Brady's
my-
playing for the first time with Tampa Bay. It's kind of a big deal. If you're a sports fan, this was a good weekend because college football was back in full, and then we have the NFL today. America is trying to kind of get back to some semblance of normal. And say what you want, sports is part of our culture.
It is.
So.
And Sean and I, when we got together, that was our thing. We watched baseball. Even the first time we met up, among the things that we did.
Yeah, here comes the comments. Go ahead. I'm just listening.
At night, we Jimmy the Gator Man. At night, we
I got him.
watched baseball. You got it?
Yeah.
So
that was how we bonded.
He was shocked that I knew all the rules. Like, there was a little quip that came where, like, someone hit a foul ball on the third strike, and I said, oh, okay. And he goes, and he started to say, well, they're not struck out. And I said, no. They can hit as many foul balls as it takes on a third strike. It's not a strike. And
unless
he was
it's
like,
a bunt.
Right. And he was like,
but the thing about it is, so someone says they're still blocked.
Who?
Teresa Thacker.
How could she be blocked? Okay, let me.
Well, you want to go? You want to do that, or you just want to wait till after and?
Well, give it to me. I'll do it. No, I'm gonna do it now.
Okay,
I want to show them that it's important to.
I'll do sports for a second. Yes. Vikings fans, Teddy Bridgewater. Remember your quarterback that got hurt, and now he's starting for Carolina. He looks good. Bucks rule. How are they, Jimmy? How are they doing? I mean, I'm here. I did want to see Tom Brady, but I can watch the second half before I go to work. You know, how is he over there? I mean, anybody that's playing the Saints, I'm an anti-Saints fan. So anyone that's against the Saints, I'm pulling for. So, and
you can't take my spot.
He came right over.
He loves it. He's like, I thought y'all were sitting down together. Let me plug it in, you guys, and then I'll be able to be back on the scene. I just want you guys to know it's important enough for us. If you get blocked, that we'll take care of it.
Oh, okay, balls to the wall. I did not know that you were. I did not know you were UFTA. She said that will. I think. Look, she said, "Hey, Sean, I'm outside of my local Buffalo Wild Wings trying the new Carolina Reaper sauce, and this is UFTA."
Huh. I didn't know that was UFTA either. I thought UFTA didn't like me. Anyways.
Interesting.
Maybe that was just let me see how it was said.
Yeah, that's.
Okay.
No.
That's cool. I had no idea that you still had me. I'm glad that you're here.
Sarah, we have to agree to disagree because I do not like the Saints. So for that, we will.
But you have to say, I teased him so bad about the Falcons losing today that he was about to legit get upset with me. Not like he gets real upset with me.
Sin, did Tom Brady throw the ball or run it? I mean, they said Tom Brady scored on his first drive. Yeah, I think that more than anything else lately, when Tom Brady going to Tampa Bay shook me a little because Tom Brady is Tom Brady. And now he's in the South, the NFC South with the Falcons and the Saints and the Panthers. And if you look at the quarterbacks, Drew Brees, Tom Brady, Matt Ryan, and Teddy Bridgewater, that's 4 pretty good quarterbacks in that. So
that's very cool.
And then he was able to convince Gronk to come over too.
Oh, that's cool.
From the Patriots. He retired and came out of retirement. It's going to be really interesting because I thought Tampa Bay had a really good defense and they were just kind of an offense away. I think Jameis Winston was too careless, reckless. I mean, he threw 30 interceptions last year. So bringing Tom Brady in was a fabulous move by Tampa Bay. So we'll have to see how it plays out. But
oh my God, Telfer wants some attention. You're not getting it.
No attention.
No. I'm saying of what that thing that came in with the screenshots. I just happened to see them as they came through. But you got your sports update.
See, I it's been made very clear to me that I can't do sports for very long.
No.
No, I'm playing.
I'm just kidding. What is today anyway?
Today is Sunday the 13th.
Okay, so she did just post it. Lord.
Don't worry about that one. I'm telling you.
No,
she has been so marginalized by everybody that.
But why is she still talking about me?
Because that's all she has.
I'm the only one she can talk about at the moment.
Literally everybody, when her name comes up, people are like, she is so pummeled right now. Even her people are trying to rally and talk about other people, but she just is. She's, and it ain't over for her. Yeah. There's more stuff coming, so we should just leave her be.
But you're right. We're going to leave her be because she's just saying that, I didn't. I'm getting you unblocked, Teresa Thacker. Hold on one second.
Christina Sapphire says, go Steelers. My father grew up in Pittsburgh, and his side of the family are huge Steeler fans. So, yeah.
That's cool.
Crazy Side Piece said my Packers won. Yeah, I think that Aaron Rodgers has got a couple more years, and then they just drafted, who's the one they put behind him? The quarterback that they're grooming. You remember when Aaron Rodgers sat and watched Brett Favre for a couple of years? They're doing that with the guy that they drafted. The name eludes me, but it's not a guy that they drafted to be a backup. He's going to be a future starter. Whoever that it'll come to me. But
I'm trying to find it. Hold on.
yes, Teddy Bridgewater. He had that awful. I was a big Teddy Bridgewater fan because he had that awful injury, and in Minnesota, that leg injury, no one thought he would come back, and he has, and he got a starting job, and Carolina gave him a big contract that signaled the end for Cam Newton. So Cam Newton exit Carolina. He gets signed by New England to replace Tom Brady, and Cam looked really good running the ball today. So we'll see. It's interesting. I love football as much as I love baseball, so I'll try not to.
I'm just looking for Teresa Thacker. I was gonna make wings today, the Buffalo Wild Wings. Hey, 50 Shades. I was gonna make that today, but instead I was getting ready to go live. But I will make him some wings next time.
I see you, 50 Shades. 50 Shades is like Sean ignoring me because all Canadian teams can beat any American teams.
Oh no.
The Toronto Raptors, they won the NBA championship last year and they just got knocked out. They're always good. I like the Blue Jays. I like the Toronto Blue Jays. I think that Bo Bichette and that young cast, Vlad Jr. is really good. But so yeah, I think that I do like the Canadian teams, but I'm an Atlanta guy. Got to pull for Atlanta.
Teresa, I don't see you on here, sweetie. Let me go one more time, but I've done the control find and I've gone through it and I don't. Oh, wait.
So 50 Shades, Canada does not have a NFL team. They have a basketball team, the Toronto Raptors. They have a baseball team, the Toronto Blue Jays. And then you guys got a couple of hockey teams out there. And hockey is king in that country, or in Canada, so. But
sorry, I'm gonna go through again if I don't.
I'm trying to carry it, babe. I'm trying to.
I'm gonna have to look later because it's not. It doesn't seem like you're there, Teresa. But I'll look later and find out.
Sissy says I'm done. I'm done with the NFL. Tom Brady leaving disrespect for the flag. Yeah, I think that the disrespect for the flag is yeah. I don't think it's about the flag, but they're using the flag, and that does bother me. It's more about the country. But yeah, I mean that's a valid argument for people. I wore the flag on my, on my shoulder, my uniform for 23 years. It means a lot to me. So
that's very cool.
So that's a valid argument.
That is very cool. So we're just getting started. Baseball and football season are going on at the same time. I should consider myself a sports oh no, that's blowing away. A sports widow.
Yeah, it's windy out there right now.
I'm right there watching it with
No,
them.
I will never make you a sports widow. I mean, if that was the case, I'd be watching the Tampa Bay game.
Pun.
I know, but
a little joke.
But people have said that before. And the only time I really make her a sports widow if Georgia Bulldogs are on, I watch
that one is cute.
The whole world stops when Georgia comes on.
Can you give me some attention? No, I'm nothing. I'm not a boyfriend. I'm not anything.
I am not a boyfriend, a father, a husband. I'm nothing.
Can I just do one thank you for Telfer for something?
Do whatever you want.
Responding to your stupid ass and giving your ex-friend that you screwed over a platform gave me the watch hours to get monetized. Thank you. From me to you. Thank you.
I think, and Sissy says, I come from a military family, I just can't. And I respect that. Mm-hmm. I mean, I will talk sports. Sports is a big part of my life, but I do respect that opinion. And I thank you for that.
And my plan is, when this is all blown over, all of those videos will go on private, and then I'll focus on my recovery videos, and it'll already be monetized, so I'll have that much of a jump start in making that go. So thank you. Thank you.
Super Nurse says War Eagle. Well, I think Georgia and Auburn play in a couple weeks, right? Next week, 2 weeks from now, Georgia plays Auburn at Jordan Hare, I believe. So that'll be a big game.
I do think the disrespect for the flag does make you offended, doesn't it?
It does. It offends us, but I think that whole flag thing was taken out of context. I think if you go back to Colin Kaepernick, I don't think when he initially kneeled it was about the flag. It was about injustice, but he was actually pissed off because he lost his starting job, and it's turned into a whole paradigm that you can't ignore. Colin Kaepernick was not a very good quarterback. People said he was, but he wasn't. And if he was a successful quarterback, and more specifically a successful black quarterback like Cam Newton, like Deshaun Watson, like Lamar Jackson, he would have never lost his job. He'd still be in the league. So there's a lot of hypocrisy around that. He doesn't have a job because he's not, he's one of the best 30 quarterbacks, but he's not one of the best 20. And he's certainly probably the worst black quarterback in the league. And they made an example out of him. But everything about that whole kneeling thing has been taken way out of the original context, which was the injustice by the police, the injustice in our country. But yeah, I mean, like the Steelers left tackle, what's his name? Alejandro. He is a former Army Ranger. He doesn't kneel. And his teammates around him respect him for that. He's one of the best tackles in the game. And he says, I was an Army Ranger. I fought for this flag. I will not kneel. And guess what? His teammates around him say, we respect that.
Yeah.
So it is what it is, you know.
Yeah. I mean, everybody's got their own opinion. I take great offense to it. So that's interesting.
She takes it. I mean, there is not more of a military
Hey, Sparrow. Hey,
military
Nelson.
family member than Mandi. Her ex-husband, her future husband, and her son all wore the uniform. This one right here.
And my dad was.
And her father's a Vietnam veteran.
And my
grandfather. Her future father-in-law is a Vietnam veteran. So you don't get much more pro-military than this one here.
Yeah, Tammy just me says, I noticed crazy is after you watch how she goes after real life after she docks me and used my minor son's picture. She hates anyone that is friends with Shannon. She is a loon. She's talking about Spirit Finder.
Yeah, Spirit Finder. Yeah. Here's the thing about Tammy. If you give her the attention, you will quickly see that, first of all, she doesn't know what she's talking about. She goes on for hours and hours, and it's very unhealthy physically. She'll go on for 6 or 7 hours, and you can literally see her face change colors. You can tell she's dehydrated. Not only is she not up there mentally, but she's physically destroying herself. And I think that Mandi said it before, when William's not around, she really, really goes off the rails. And someone said earlier in the chat, William's got a good heart. He does. And he doesn't like when she goes crazy. And for that, I like him.
Well, they said it.
I like him.
Sometimes
So
people say it's her blood sugar or whatever.
but it doesn't matter when you're live streaming to the point where you're getting physically ill. You've got to stop.
I agree. Can I have my iPad?
Mm-hmm.
Everybody's still talking about the NFL thing, but this one I thought you could.
Which one?
Okay, so hold on. No disrespect, Sean, but how can that be taken out of context? It's our flag of the U.S.
Because they're using be offended at the flag, but what's being happened, and the athletes are saying it, the players are saying it, everyone's saying that they're kneeling for the national anthem to protest systems in America. That's what they do. You don't see them out there bashing the military directly, but I get you, and it is no disrespect on you for arguing that. I respect that argument. That's all I can really say about it, you know. But
it's a debate.
Great argument. It is.
And Sean loves a good debate, so that's perfect. So y'all definitely come with your opinions.
Yep.
And he's totally cool with that. We got no problem with that.
Polska says, looking forward to more of your recovery vlogs.
Me too. I'm gonna focus on that. It's, some people say if I'm in the drama and doing that, I can't in good conscience do recovery vlogs. I'm not sure where that came from. Look, I got glitter in my eye. I'm not quite sure where that came from because one doesn't have to do with the other, and I'm not exactly attacking people for whatever. I made that one comment about Randy and apologized. She didn't accept the apology, but that's all I can do. So it is something that I enjoy doing. So I do want to focus on it again. Really, I mean, I've run the gamut pretty much with the other situation. The girl had a platform to speak. Y'all, I think everybody saw it was about way more than a dog. way more than a dog.
Christina,
So-
yeah, I see, and I understand you're not taking at me, but I love the debate, and I'm thinking of ways to bring Tomahawk back because it's monetized channel as well that I haven't used in a year,
Colleen.
and maybe that's something we talk about because as a veteran, I don't hate the NFL.
Right.
I hate much like I hate I hate how the media handles all of it. And I hate how, with everything that's going on in America, right now we have an election happening in November. You have the 5% of this extreme wackos on the right and the 5% of this extreme wackos on the left. And that's all the news reports. You know, they don't really report the 90% of this country that's trying to come together, you know, that's trying to change the paradigm. We concentrate on the extremists on both sides. And I think that the whole football thing, I mean, if you look at what's happened with the NBA, with the Black Lives Matter movement, it's in full force there. And
Oh, is it?
I think they're trying to do this without politicizing it.
Yeah.
I think they're trying to let the players and the owners and the people just speak with their own voice.
Yeah.
And I think the NFL failed at that. I think they let the media take it over and spin it into something that it wasn't. You should be allowed to say if you disagree with it. It should be a voice.
Right.
And that's why I don't take it personal. I think it's an excellent argument. When it first happened, I was highly, highly offended. And then I started to listen to some of the other people that are like, even people that are kneeling are saying it's taken way out of context. This has nothing to do with the flag. And so then the argument is, well, then why are you kneeling? Why can't you figure out some other way to protest? So that's the argument. And because it is about the national anthem, where we play the national anthem and we pay respects to our flag. You know, when you're watching TV and the national anthem's played, it always pans out to the flag wherever it's flying in the stadium. So it's an amazingly good debate. It is.
Exactly. I agree. Changing gears, we actually did create,
And that's all I have to say about
just
that.
letting you guys know, because a few people asked, we have that our Amazon wish list, but we also have a registry that we made. It's not real fancy or anything, but some people asked. Y'all just being here is enough for us, but I just wanted to let you know that we did do that. So I have to find the link. It should be public on Amazon. It should be public. I haven't even gotten the link to the OG mods yet, but I will find it. I just wanted to let you guys know that we did do it. And I might have posted it on our community page. I'm not really sure, but I just wanted to let you guys know that we did it. We did it. Whenever you ladies know that when you have like glitter eyeshadow, it just takes one little piece of that glitter to like get in your eyelash and you start seeing like gleaming everywhere.
I have no
I know. And
no
then
idea how.
if you go to like flip it out, you'll knock it into your eye, and then you'll sit there for hours rubbing it till long after your mascara and your eyeliner is gone, and then you might as well just wash your face. The struggle is real, ladies. If you've had it happen, I understand. Sean has not. He doesn't have.
Well,
it
I mean,
understand.
I watch you when you do your makeup, and you know, I see some of the get ready with me. Sometimes that happen. You guys
Yeah.
are amazing. I mean, because it's a facet of life that guys just don't do.
Jumping up. I'm sorry.
right?
Hold on a second. Right. You wouldn't understand, guys. Don't
They
think
wouldn't
really-
understand.
They don't
So.
understand how real the struggle is. They just don't understand. Now I got it. All I was doing, I forgot. Y'all are gonna laugh. I forgot to start the washer. That's what I went to do.
That's what you did?
Yes, because it was like, you know how it is. You want your two loads going. You want your dryer going with your washer. So it's. Sorry.
She has an amazing mind. And
So
for
do
her,
you.
in the middle of this, she's like, well, hold on a second. And she just goes, I had to turn the washing machine on.
Let me tell you what I'm
And
doing
here's why.
after later when I am in the process, because we've got 18,000 legal divorce filings, divorce whatever paperwork. I got a hanging file, and I'm now organizing our taxes, our legal papers, our marriage license and certificate. We don't have it yet, but we have, it's there. And we're really literally combining our lives administratively. And that makes me so happy.
It does make her happy.
Isn't that cool?
We were at such a standstill for so long. See, I had classified it as good news box, bad
Yes.
news, good news mail, bad news mail, and she's like, no, it's much more specific, and she's right.
Yeah.
She's right.
So that's like the big thing. Like, you put your clothes together when you first get together, and we did that. And you guys know that it took me forever to convince him to get out of the duffel bag and go into the dresser and put it away. And I took that duffel bag and I put it in the shed, and he hasn't seen it since. And because you know why? If we go on a getaway, I have Vera Bradley stuff. You know that.
Bren Michelle, the Falcons and the Seahawks. I watched that feed on a Facebook feed. I didn't see the beginning, so I don't know, but they played that game in Atlanta. I'm going to go out on a limb and say they did, Neil, because just the way the city of Atlanta handles stuff, and the city of Seattle is in very much state of chaos. And Atlanta is sort of more of a melting pot than the rest of the state of Georgia. The state of Georgia is very red, but then the liberal side of it, the equalizer in Georgia is in the city of Atlanta. So I'm going to say they probably did, Neil.
I want to talk about happy things now.
Okay.
I mean, I appreciate the debate and y'all keep whatever, but it's like, then I'll get all like, not at y'all, but you know, the principle of it. You know what I mean? Like, but if anybody else has opinions, we can still talk about it. Just eventually we'll be happy.
Yeah, we try not to do politics. It kind of invaded into the sports stuff, though.
But she's right. They're right to talk about it. And I'm not saying it's cut it off and let's do whatever, but I'm just saying eventually that's what we're going to do. Because...
Well, in other news,
you're
Presley's Matt's pitcher has a no hitter through 8, so...
I'm sure she knows that.
Yes.
Rhonda said she's from where Sean just moved from, sort of. Really, Rhonda? That's cool. I think we knew that, right?
I knew Rhonda was from NC.
Yeah.
I knew that.
Okay, so anyway, like I was saying, so the first we combined our stuff. They're going to say, well, nobody cares about that, but it makes me feel good to say it. We combined our stuff, like our clothes, and then we went to North Carolina and got his stuff that he had left. Mm-hmm. So then we made your room. Mm-hmm. That wasn't rude for me to say, right? People aren't going to be upset with me.
No.
Okay.
It's a good way to move on.
I don't want people to think I was like...
No, sometimes to get me off of it, you have to be firm like that.
But I don't want to be like...
It's okay.
Okay.
It's okay, right, guys? It's okay.
Anyway, I would never want that to be rude. So they're like, yeah, right, we've seen you on ATX. No, I would never, when we're talking to us, be like that.
Yes, Rhonda's from Wilmington.
Oh, very cool.
Near Whiteville, near Rich Life, right?
Puerto Vallarta. I'll come to your house in Puerto Vallarta. How about December? Look, how about December? How about a honeymoon? No, I'm just kidding. So I would though. So, anyway, so then we combined our stuff with our clothes. Then we went to North Carolina and got what he had left and put it in his man cave. But he did have a few of your pictures that you had left to incorporate into my photo albums of our families and all of that. And then it was like, now we can paperwork-wise combine it. Because not like we were going to split up and have to split it up, but there just seemed, oh, cool. I got that. I don't know if you're, she's been very, like when we combine that now, we know it's like, okay, I need my DD-214. And instead of him going through his folder in his room and his VA paperwork and looking for it, it's in a hanging file, which is both of ours. So those little things like that, that's just really cool to me. You know what I mean?
That is cool. Rhonda says 2 miles from Wrightsville Beach. I liked Wrightsville Beach, near Carolina Beach. I liked it. I liked Wrightsville Beach. It's kind of like a suburb of Wilmington.
Oh, really?
Yeah. It's a real beachy little town that's just, it's kind of like down in like a little peninsula area near Cape Fear. And I like Wrightsville a lot. And that's Rhonda's near there.
Oh, that's very cool. I like that. Yeah, we're, as you, like, okay, look. I had a wedding in long time ago, like 97. And I was young, right? So planning consisted of, okay, I want a dress, whatever, very 18-year-old planning. I want the knife cutters, the traditional knife cutters where we have the same, and it was those little things, right? And now that I'm older and we're planning this with the 41-year-old me and the 50-year-old him, what becomes important in a wedding is completely different than what it is when you're younger. Like, does that make sense?
It doesn't make sense.
It becomes totally about the fact that it's our wedding and not what will it look like for the 100 people that are there. I want a groom's cake that has this, I want this, I want, okay, then the flower petals I want to do. It becomes totally different. You want it to be nice. You want people to have a good time. But it turns into what, like I always said I would never do because it was corny, literally writing your own vows. Because at 40 and 50, let me tell you something. Those vows that you say when you're 18, those vows that you say when you're 18, you want them exactly like you've always heard them in the movies. You want the wedding march just how you've heard it in the movies. You want your wedding registry a certain way. And then it's just totally different. It's totally different. My dress came from you guys. My pearls came from you guys. My shoes came from you guys. It has turned into something that is about the memories of it and what it means to me and him.
You know what it means to me?
What?
When I finally, I try, because this is a legitimate wedding, a ceremony that I was never part of that. But when Mandi, I got in touch with my mother, and I kind of sat back, and you remember y'all started talking, and then I excused myself and went to work.
Yes.
When my wife to be and my mother, for me to sit back and watch those two wonderful, incredible women start talking about my future. Besides my daughters, these are the two women that I love more than I love myself. And it moved me to a place that was really special to sit back, because my ex certainly didn't have that relationship with my mother. And I had two totally separate lives with two women that were important to me, and it shouldn't be that way. Yeah. My wife and my mother should be good friends. They should be good friends. And when they got on the phone together and took that big step in that direction, I can't even express how that made me feel. So cool. It's not an excuse when I say maybe you should call my mom, because I think on sort of different levels, what it means to you and what it means to my mother are similar, and that is that they want to celebrate me. Yeah. And I never had that with anyone else.
Sissy says that's the sweetest thing she's ever heard any man say. It is.
But if you're it's my third marriage. Oh, it's your third marriage. Blah 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 blah. When you see your lives merge, your personal life with your partner and your life with your family and a lot of people are like, it should be that way. It wasn't for me.
Yeah.
So when you see them being able to come together, it's I can't describe the feeling. It's a huge chunk of anxiety that's gone. And the fact that we're going to move to Georgia, every single time I see my mother sitting next to Mandi, which has been a couple of times now, where I look out on my left peripheral and you were sitting there and my mother was right there, my heart jumps, because that's how it should be. So
that's
anyway.
Cool. I hadn't heard that before, so that's very cool. Cool being an understatement. I would think that even the naysayers that love to make fun of us could probably say that this exchange we just had was authentic, real, and what everybody would love to have. As far as relationship with your mom and all of that, not saying, we're the ideal, but nobody can say that's stupid. That's ridiculous. No, make fun of it and pause it and do whatever. It is. I think everybody can pretty much agree that's how it's supposed to be. I thought when you were able, I was on the phone with your mom and you were like, I'm going to go to work. And I said, okay. And you were able to go to work and you didn't have to worry about me making a fool out of myself.
Right.
me, and I'm not trying to like take you back in time, but it would be hard for me in the beginning if you were on the phone with my dad or something, and I was walking out the door, and it was one of your first phone call,
Right.
to be comfortable enough to walk out the door and not have to listen to what's being said. So it's like, that meant everything to me. That meant you trusted me
Yeah.
to say whatever I wanted to say, and you didn't have to make sure it was okay.
Well, I felt comfortable enough. I am not going to sit there any longer and wait for the other shoe to drop like I
Right.
used to have to do.
Yeah.
I'm not. And there was something saying, just let go, let go. Let these women, let these ladies plan some stuff for you and around you and about you. It's okay. I don't have to come in and hear some story about two sides of some situation that happened.
And when we
You know.
when we are in Atlanta, you're able, like, okay, so his dad had a talk with him and his brother. It was a pretty serious talk about just the future, wishes, things like that. So I was downstairs in the room or whatever, and you were gone for probably 2 hours. But he said, I'm gonna go whatever, and I said okay, and I entertained myself for 2 hours. He said in another situation, you would have been blasted for leaving me
and
by
worried the whole time.
Right. And when he came down and said whatever, I was like, I just figured you were having a conversation. I didn't, but
Huge
I
anxiety
wouldn't
I
have
used
said,
to
you
have.
abandoned me.
Yeah, I used to have
and
huge anxiety.
and that wasn't it. He had an amazing conversation with his father. I mean, we won't talk. Amazing. A conversation that will last forever. Now you're
Yeah.
gonna make me tear up. Last forever. And he was able to do it knowing that I'm not gonna throw an ape shit fit because I
Yeah.
don't have his
You
total
don't, you don't
attention.
have an insatiable
Thank you.
need for attention.
No.
An insatiable need to have attention.
Yes, you guys.
An insatiable need to suck the energy right
No.
out of a situation.
No.
She doesn't have that. And I spent a decade.
Yeah.
Um,
Someone said, "Did you get
living
your
that.
hair cut?" While we talk, I'm gonna say I got it cut a little bit and I got it highlighted. I have a lot of like that argon spray in it because I was gonna wash it. It's been washed yesterday, but I was gonna put that argon spray in it so I could wash it and put it on the ends. But yeah, I got my hair highlighted and cut. You want me to take it down? Okay. So
right on, right? Take it down.
what he used to do, I'm gonna show you. Show him what you would used to do with my
Okay,
ponytail
so
holder.
we would be like getting frisky,
Uh-huh.
and we're like all over each other. The very first thing I would do is I can multitask, right? I'd be like making out with her, nibbling on her neck or whatever. I would just subtly take my hand and I would just
And then
pull,
show what you would do with the
and
thing.
then I would just put my hand in and I'd go, and it would just go. I was like,
So by the
"It's
end of a
time.
couple of days, I
It's
would have
time."
a pile.
There'd be like little hair barrettes everywhere.
Isn't that hilarious? Lavender Sunday. I am so. I'm not gonna. I don't want to rehash it, but I remember what Spirit Finder said and did to you, and that's another reason why take pleasure in the clapback I did that shows what a hypocrite she is, because I remember that. Thank you. And then Rhonda, I saw everything that you said and the people what they said to you, and I am so yours. I'm so sorry, and you were definitely in my thoughts. Did you see it? I'm gonna read it so that we can send my.
Yeah, it was Jenny. It was she
Mother
said that's
sin, I
that's
love it.
cute. Jenny said that's cute, but it was kind of me being sneaky because it's like this is the little first piece of clothing that's gonna
Yeah, here
be
it is.
tossed to the side. But I wanted her to know that she's beautiful and she is freaking sexy with her hair down.
And at the time, I
and
had
it adds
blonde
to the
hair.
moment too.
Remember, then I
and-
had blonde hair. And that was when we had the conversation that I said, I'm tired of getting it colored. The bleach, it's expensive. And he goes,
Yep.
color that shit back to your natural
Yeah,
color.
I love her natural hair.
He said, you have blue eyes and dark hair. Why are you coloring your hair? And I was
Yeah.
like, so anyway, Rhonda said, my best friend's father passed away from COVID this morning, just when I started thinking this is okay. No. Right here.
Oh, let me see.
This is it right here. That's what I was saying she's in our thoughts and prayers for.
Yeah, you are.
Hey, Jenny. I said hi, but I'm sorry. Yeah. Hey, Dodie. How are you?
Wow.
Yeah. So I just wanted you to know that we had seen that. And then here's the other one that was cracked. Sin said, "My mother-in-law and I are good friends on the surface. Underneath it all, I think we annoy the heck out of each other, though." You know what? Touche. I've been there. This isn't my first rodeo. His mother is so honest and so genuine, and you know where you stand. And as soon as she'll tell you, "Well, I think that might be kind of tacky or whatever," in her next sentence she'll say, "But anyway, so that was a good idea," and whatever. And I don't take
She
offense
doesn't hold a
to
grudge.
it. No, and she doesn't say it to hurt anyone's
Yeah, well,
feelings. She
she-
says it because I asked her opinion.
Her 3 sons have put her through it.
Yeah.
She can distinguish between what's drama and what's a real issue and what isn't. I mean, she can tell you, like Mandy said, she goes, "I don't really agree with your action there. You need to work that out." So you think chicken for dinner?
That's exactly.
You know,
I
so you
love
think
that.
chicken for dinner? And
Shannon
she's-
said, "Hey guys, I'm so sorry about that weirdo." Shannon, did you see my little my little video I posted that I had for my treasure trove? I was like, "Oh, you care about our love? Let me tell you about yours." Anyway, I'm just joking.
Shannon, you're the
you
first
probably got a
person
kick
that
out of
came to mind when Mandy said, "Look at this," and I was like, "Wow, well."
Well, and I'm like Shannon. If
Shannon
she
knows
decides,
all about that.
If that wacko decides to latch onto me and Sean, that means she's leaving somebody else alone. You know, leaving Lavender alone, leaving whoever alone. But all I was saying was, you have a little bit of a sticky love affair past too.
Yeah.
I did. She's going after you guys to get. Yeah, you know what? Go for it.
I would like at some point. Maybe I should just ask offline. I know we know how Shannon feels about Spirit Finder, and I wonder how Shannon feels about William. Because I see how nasty Shannon is.
She'll say.
And William, to me, it's kind of like, bro, you know, it's like I feel him sometimes, you know what I'm saying? But
she screwed around on all her husbands. Wait a minute, all of her husbands? William's not the first? Oh my gosh, for shame, for shame. Let me fan myself. I don't have any pearls to clutch. I have a
we're the adulators.
oh my god.
Shannon told us we're the adulators.
I thought she only had one little husband. That's interesting. Someone said one day I can thank you.
Jailhouse love affairs, knowledge of the law. Right on, Rhonda. You know,
she wants to say something about drugs and laughs for first 20 minutes of something I would even follow it. She's laughing about. Now, there are different opinions on that. A lot of people think she knows exactly what she's ranting about. She knows exactly what she's mumbling about, that there's nothing not planned. I tend to think that's probably not true, but doesn't mean that's not an excuse to be mean as a snake. There's lots of people that wander around in their own little mentally ill world who don't pointedly, not just, talking about someone in general. They know what they're talking about, who they're talking about, and they don't stop. So anyways, I don't care. Let her latch on to us. I know, clutching my pearls for that. You know what? I'm gonna be totally honest. As much as we just like said, William defends her, William does whatever. I don't think William has the wherewithal or the mental capability to even legally be married. And I'm not saying that to get back at her. I'm literally saying, to me, it looks like it borderlines on something that would need a caseworker to watch over them, because I don't think he's able to make any decisions about anything.
I sometimes, regardless of what his mental capacity could be, you can feel. I mean, his energy is palpable when she's going off and he's around. Mm-hmm. You can hear him with his 2-cent comments. You can tell. You can see how uncomfortable he gets and how he wants her to stop.
He wants her to stop.
And I identify with that. And he doesn't even have to be in the thing. You can just hear his little comments in the background. That's what I mean.
They've got to have a caseworker that watches over them. There's no way. I mean, social workers, a lot of times two mentally ill people will be allowed to get married, but they have a caseworker that checks on them. I think she has the mental standing to be dominating and to make decisions that he doesn't have the capability to not make.
That's kind of true.
Oh, thank you, balls to the wall. You are dorps. Thank you. You're so
thank
sweet.
You, balls to the wall.
But do you see what I'm saying? You have your ranch. You got it back.
You
Hey,
know,
Sean the Brit. Sean, I love to hear him talk.
Hey, what's up, Sean?
But that's my point, is like, feel how you, like, she can go on and on and on and on. He doesn't, he can't make financial decisions.
No.
There's no way he can. So if she's taking his money and doing whatever with it monthly and making the decision of what to do with it, a caseworker needs to be involved, because he doesn't have the mental capability to agree to that at all.
What I noticed, this is a year ago, maybe 18 months ago even, right around when we first started together, and you were kind of introduced me to her. I knew about her, but I never watched anybody
I know
else.
Shannon, right?
Remember, you know how William is not allowed to listen to rock and roll. Mm-hmm. Shannon has him in the back room listening to this gospel and
while
this country
she goes
gospel,
out and jams
while
out.
she's out just spewing filth. And I was like, wow, how about that?
I will admit this, though. When they tried to pin the CPS call on her ranting and raving of Savage's thing, they always take advantage of her. When the porch raised money for her, and then once again she didn't get the money, I do believe she's telling the truth about that, because I think the porch does run scams. I'm convinced of this now. Not a surprise that they've allied with Telfer, because that's what she does too, and she'll take money to do nefarious things, and they have each other. But I do think the porch did either not give her all the money, or gave her no money, or tried to confuse the situation, because she is prime pickings for that. So however you feel about the porch or Tammy, I do believe that.
Nothing like running a scam or running something to somebody that doesn't really have the mental capacity to tell you their side of it.
Right.
When you can take all kinds of advantage of that.
Okay, Rhonda, really? And if that is the case, then I respect people who said that it did. Do you think all of it went that way? Every single penny went that way? She got free. Okay, then I take that back, Porch. Because you're still shady, and I don't like you, but I take that back.
I knew that the porch, if you take the porch of love from the Christmas from a few years back, it was a good thing. And I know that money came Trisha's way. I know that money money came Trisha's way during the hurricane. But I think that not everything they do, not near what they do, is always forthcoming the right way. They took that one event, which was good, and they tried to build a whole MO around it, and that's what they were deceiving about. Because they would raise money for this and raise money for that. Some of it was legitimate, some of it was not.
That's true. And I will say, and I want to say this. Sean was friends with them on a YouTube level. You saw them talk to him after he and his ex split up and try to give advice and this and that. Mm-hmm. I never did anything to them either. We had a cordial relationship. I came in, they would laugh. Let me tell you what, when they allied with what's her name, they drug me and Sean through the mud for no other reason than she wanted him to. We didn't do anything to them.
Nope.
Nothing.
And if you remember, for those of y'all that were following the porch 18 months ago, I know a lot of y'all dropped off. They couldn't decide what they wanted to do with us.
Right.
They didn't like us. Then they liked us. Then they didn't like us. Then they liked us. They couldn't decide. Yeah. So,
anyway, that's just my point. And I'll let that go as far as that goes. And I will take back my misconception that y'all are vouching for it, and I believe you about that specific situation. I guess she blew the 3,000, which doesn't surprise me either. But it did hurt Sean and I's. It hurt us when they drug him. At first, they said, when they found out, they said he doesn't work. We know he doesn't, whatever. And there was no reason for that. He did work.
Well, the thing about it is they knew my ex well enough to know I did work, and they knew enough about me. They know enough about my past to know that just wasn't true, what they were saying. And they're just not, bottom line is drama is drama. People have their drama and this and that. They're just not very honest a lot of the time, and they pick the wrong side. Yeah. They're trying to defend the undefendable, and
they're and we know why it is, because when Telfer says jump, they have to jump. So we get why it is. But they didn't have to go so low when they were talking, once again, jumping on body parts, jumping on weight, jumping on his man, not like it wounded his manhood, but that he didn't work, he wasn't worth anything, he wasn't this.
Yeah.
There was no reason to do that, and likewise, you wouldn't want someone to do that to go to Ricky. If we took a platform and drug Ricky for not working, not doing this, not doing that,
Right.
that wouldn't be drama as much as it would just be a shitty ass thing to
Because that's more closer to the truth. I mean, you know what Pam likes to do.
Since
What
you
Pam
said
likes
retired
to
officers
do.
ain't poor.
What Pam likes to do is she likes to have other men compare them to her husband, who by all means, by what all we know, is a hardworking man and is a supportive husband. But she'll say that and compare them to her husband, but she's got her brother sitting right next to her that we know can't, and it might not be his fault.
And he's
because of his injuries or because of
but
his
he's on
disabilities.
assistance just like
But
Sean
he's
is.
but I am out there working, and she's talking down to not just me but other guys when her brother is right next to her doing jack and shit and not at the same time.
Yeah.
You know,
and they did a turnaround when at first they were dragging us for being together, and then for a split minute when Sam liked us again, we were okay, we were good, we were this, but then it turned when she turned again. Just be your own people. That's all I'm saying, is be your own people. And I tell you what, you wouldn't have lost all of your supporters and your viewers if you hadn't jumped on that bandwagon. You jumped on the bandwagon of hate, of degradation to other people. You jumped on that one, and it wasn't the right one.
the realization is they had this stream like they were going to come back, and they had the burn bucket, and they threw almost everybody in the community in the burn bucket. And then they turned around and they started to hang out with true crime. Well, guess where? Everybody they threw in the burn bucket was already hanging out with true crime people. Already hanging out over there. And already they tried, putting everybody in the burn bucket and then going to Troll Avenue or going to Boyd and hanging out. Well, guess what? We're all friends with them over
And
there.
you're right.
We don't hang out with those people.
You're right. Lavender Sunday says that it's hard when all the channels are fighting, and you're right. You don't know where you can go and where you can say something and what you can say in a platform that won't be misconstrued. You know what? I totally understand that. And for that, I want this channel to be able to voice things, but not be part of that.
Right.
ATX is part of that.
Yes.
Even Tomahawk was part of that. I want this one not to be part of
Right.
that. And for that reason, you're right. We need to back out of the conversation as far as that goes and go back to just talking about things that people want to hear.
Well, yeah, I think you're right. I think that when we come on, people know us in the drama community and around drama, and if we touch on it for like 5 minutes, that's fine. But we do go off on a tangent.
We did, but I've been wanting to say that. We had made cracks about the joke, about the porch, but I wanted to expand on how that it was shitty of them to do what they did to us. We didn't, I don't think we deserved it. And I get why you had to do it, but it's messed up. And the bigger issue is that attitude, and the attitude you have for everybody is why you barely have anyone watching you. And nobody is on Patreon watching you except the haters that hate us or them, hate the community. They're there. And that's really sad, because you used to be where anyone could go in and talk in the chat. I felt comfortable. Other people, not nobody can.
Well, I mean, the thing with the way they look, their shtick was good.
Yeah.
I mean, they're on their porch, they're called the porch, but it's kind of like with our channel, we've got our little thing together. And if we wanted to go down the rabbit hole intentionally, we could put a lot of people in the chat and talk about it. When she goes and does ATX or goes with Savage or goes with Pirate Shannon on panel, they get numbers. But see, where we're at is good. And if we can build from there, it's and I think that Pam and Rick could do that, but they have to start over.
Yeah.
And if they come in with a comeback and they go down the rabbit hole, people are that's played out for them. It really is.
You're exact. And then, okay, so Pamela says it's like, I'm afraid to even say hi in some chats these days. YouTube has been ugly in 2020. Absolutely.
It has been.
We agree with that. I go to other channels to sit quiet, but I feel it's weird and uncomfortable sitting there watching. I love this chat so much. You're right. Lavender says, well, a little bit of shade's not too bad, but, and you're right.
Gentle Soul says, how amazing would it be if everyone could get along, but it would be boring, I guess, LOL. But if of those people people that Mandi hangs out with, they do hang out in chats and with other people that aren't doing drama.
Right.
And then we just come back to this for some drama. I mean, But you're right. If everybody got along, the community which we were born into would dissolve.
Right.
It would dissolve.
And as far as who, with I don't want to say her name because of everything that's going on, but talking on my channel, on we doing lives together and doing whatever, the real life stuff that she's talking about, other than she's talking about on my platform, that I didn't go real life with all that. That is their situation to deal with, but it's good drama and she wants a voice and people like watching it, so I did it. It doesn't mean that but yeah, that right there is that right there.
Yep.
Anyway, that's all I'm gonna say about that. But it is gonna
Aaron
be funny
says,
when I put it all on private and do recovery.
Yeah. It's what a lot of us did.
It'll be like, thanks guys.
Hot Tomahawk Sean channel, ATX. We put our numbers out there and got monetized being down the rabbit hole. Then we came out of it.
And then I'll jump on.
And then we go doing something else.
My recovery will be monetized, and it'll be a good, sound, healthy thing, and it will already be monetized. But anyways.
But
Kamari is the man.
Kamara, yeah, he signed a big contract with the Saints. They're talking about the Saints and the Bucks game. Aaron said, "I'm watching the Bucks game." Yeah.
I bet if we were streaming it behind us, we'd have they could watch us and the game.
You know what? Yeah. You know what people are doing? I couldn't find our game on there, so I went on YouTube and someone was streaming doing a live Facebook stream with the game, and they don't take that down.
Facebook doesn't.
So I'm watching the Falcons and the Seahawks on Facebook. Okay, that's how I watched it.
And then I was teasing him earlier about the Falcons, and I teased him a little bit, and he would try to make a joke and say, "No, they've come up, they've pulled ahead," and I was like, "Oh, that is so sweet." And then he'd be like, "Hey, no,
at ease."
But yeah, so like, that was a good conversation we had earlier, and we do want to represent something that's real, what we really, really have. And, we came from two totally different relationships. Our relationship history, I have to say, I pretty much stopped maturing right about 18 as far as how I learned to argue and how I learned to, I've never told him I'm going to like cut and run, but let me tell you something. When I was 18, that's how I fought. I learned that with my ex early on, as immature as I was, that for me to go, I'm leaving. Mm-hmm. That reaction that I got from him was so, it's how I learned to do it. And it got shorter as I got older, not so much. But that's what, at 18, 16, that's what you do. You think, well, I'm going to leave you. And, oh, no, please don't. And
it's different for me.
Work. I tried it very, very, I didn't say I was going to leave him, but I said, I guess you're about to walk out the door. And he goes, all right. And I said, well, tell her I said hello. And he goes, you too. And I was like, oh!
Yeah. So I was like, yeah, you too.
Don't fight like that.
I've got it down to a science. I need about 3 hours. If I've got to do it in an hour, I can. But I can get out of here in 3 hours just.
And that was our first thing or whatever.
Just don't
play. It scared us so much.
Yeah.
That we realized then, and it's been a learning process, that what we were trained when we put our backs up like this, what we were trained to do is he was trained to try to not get thrown out. I was programmed to say, well, if it all fails, I'll threaten to walk. And I never told him I was going to leave him, but I would say, I'm going to walk out for a few hours. And that was bad enough. And he'd be like
okay.
Fine. And
then the time she did go, she started texting. I'd text her back.
Yeah.
I'd text her back. It means you'll come back when you come back. The thing for me is what I learned is that it's painfully comfortable to pack my stuff and go.
Yeah.
Like I'd be in it so bad, it's like get out and we get thrown out, and the cops would start coming around. It was painfully comfortable, and it was so routine for me to pack up my car and go. Mm-hmm. It was easy for me to say it too. When I had to learn deep inside and deprogram myself that number one, it's not the right thing to do. Mm-hmm. Number two, it's not going to solve anything, and it's not communication. Mm-hmm. So.
And it never came to that. I mean, he never actually. Mm-hmm. I remember the first, and I've talked about this, the first argument we got in, the real argument, he went and sat in a chair in the corner of this dining room, ready for a verbal battle, ready to give it all he had. And I went and sat in his lap, and I said, we're not doing that. I can get upset, and we can talk, and I'm not going to throw you out, and you don't have to get ready for whatever, and I'm going to work on what I say that triggers that. But it was heartbreaking because he was ready. He was red-faced, sitting down in the corner, ready to go, like, toe-to-toe. Not physically, but whatever I was going to throw at him, he was ready to get. No, that's true, though.
It is true, but I was also ready to go.
Yeah.
The main thing is I'm ready to go. And what a pain in the ass it is to have to pack up or never unpack. But I knew how to do it.
Yeah.
I knew how to do it. And, I mean, we said this before. Remember, we had moved in...
Yes.
In August. It was the middle of October, and she's like, are you going to unpack your stuff? And I was like, well, these bags I normally never unpack. And she's like, you need to.
Yeah. Kim, thank you, by the way, for your blessing. I didn't see it till after we had logged off. Thank you. That was last time.
Colleen and Jenny figured out their neighbors in the chat. That's good.
We'll do Cincy parties. Invite me if I'm nearby.
Yeah. Well, they're getting ready for a storm there. So.
Oh, wow. The other, yeah, that was me. There was something else that had nothing to do with arguing, but I can't remember what it was. That's what it was. That's why when and she thinks she can say what she wants, we're going to continue to mention her. Like, every once in a while we mention my ex, like I did earlier. It's not a thing. When she bragged to that judge, and when she brags online that she made him live in his car, when she bragged to the judge, I made him live in his car, the judge was like, and I don't think she realizes that her audience sees that as like, well, hopefully he lived in his car because he was so bad and your relationship was, no, he did it because I got drunk and threw him out.
Yeah. Well, what she doesn't understand that outside of drama communities, when she stands in a legal court of law and says, I did this and I did that, they're looking at her like, that doesn't
She was
help
like, he
you.
couldn't even shower. I made him live in his car.
That doesn't help your case, ma'am.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, that's not right.
So anyway,
so why are you fighting this divorce then if you did that? And that's what they were like, why are you fighting this?
That's basically what he said.
If you did this to him and you say it with such pride, why are you fighting this?
Right.
Denied.
Yep, that's what happened.
That's kind of what happened.
So anyways, that was my point about that. And for him to think for any reason that I would make him, like, I can't even imagine going to bed knowing that my husband is sleeping in his car at his place of employment. How do you lay your head down, maybe with a bunch of Thorazine, but how do you lay your head down and go to sleep knowing that a man that did nothing to you but love and care for you is sleeping in his car and showering on post?
Yeah.
Getting sandwiches from Subway near his work because they gave them to him because they were left and cared for him. He is a United States veteran and a husband that did nothing, and that's what you did to him. And that's why you got in the divorce exactly what you deserved.
Yeah.
Nothing.
The cops are always going to come out
Zero.
when you call them to come out. But I remember one of the Jacksonville police. The Jacksonville police, when they went to the door and they were talking to her, and she was like, blah, 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 blah. And she goes, this is your husband. And she was like, blah, 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 blah. And you could see it in his face. He stayed professional. And he walked me to the car, and he said, hey, sir. And I looked at him, and he looked me right in the eye, and he says, whatever you do, don't give her a single penny.
Yep.
And this was a cop saying this, and I was like, he goes, no. You heard what she said. If you support her, you need to find somewhere to go, man, and go. Mm-hmm. That right there is... We see it a lot from time to time, but I've never seen it to that magnitude. But whatever you do, don't give her any more resources. Start there. And this was a police officer, and I was like, thank you. He goes right on, and they saw it, and I started to listen to that, But I don't remember his name, but that's one thing that we hadn't even started talking yet when he did that. That was back in April.
We hadn't crossed over.
We haven't crossed over, right?
I said, because I was saying, Sean, are you okay? And he told me what he said.
And I'm standing there, and they're looking at me, and they're like, "Whatever, just do me one thing. Don't give her any money. Don't give her any resources." And that's big for a cop to say that because that's not their job. But they were like, "Oh my God." When you told me,
you said the cops were a couple of good veterans, good guys. And they said, and then when Sean and I crossed over and we were talking and this and that and the separation was underway, I even said one time, I was like, Sean, don't think that I'm going to stop you. Do you need to give her something monthly? And he went, no, she can fuck off.
Yeah. And it was that. I mean, another thing.
Hey, Rachel.
One of the police officers also said
Hey.
was like one time. He goes, "Hey, you know, how long you been married and this and that?" And I told him, and he was a little surprised. He says, "Aren't you about ready for this to be someone else's problem?"
Yep.
And I was like,
now
"Excuse
it
me?" He
is.
goes, "Aren't you ready for this?" Because we're always going to come out, and you see this in other situations where the cops are always coming to people's houses. They have to, but they understand. They look at other people as human beings. That says, "Do you like living this way? Aren't you sick and tired of being sick and tired? Don't you want this to be someone else's problem? Aren't you sorry? Aren't you tired of this being your problem?" And after a while, I just kind of go, "Yeah." They're like, "Dude, just go."
Just go. And when he took off that time, he gave his 2 weeks. I'm not speaking for him, but I just know the story. He gave his 2 weeks with his job, and he got in his car with everything he could fit in his Mustang, and he took off for Atlanta. You went to Atlanta first, or did you go straight to Cincinnati?
I went to Atlanta.
Went to Atlanta
I went
first.
to Atlanta.
And
No, I went to Asheville first, and I stayed with a friend in Asheville, and
Right.
then I came back, and then
Hey, Kelly. And the thing is like, you know, what would have happened if he and I hadn't crossed over or whatever? You do say pretty solidly that it definitely helped to move on with me, but you said I couldn't.
I couldn't. I had enough people.
You filed a police report too.
Well, when she was putting my when she put my social, when she doxed my social,
I have it somewhere.
I was in Asheville at my friend's, and I said, "I got to drive back to Jacksonville for a police report," and
And
I
you
did.
did.
That was May 1st. We crossed over like a week after that,
Yep.
and
But I have the police report that he filed,
Yeah.
and he was ready for her to go to court and have to answer for it. He was that done. So not only was he no longer going to pay for a defense attorney, he was like, "I'm going to get my pound of flesh, and you're going to stop doing this to me."
And then I realized that, you know, and they're like, "Well, you got to go over there, get your date in court, and you got to blah, blah, blah." I said, "I don't want to do that. I want to divorce her. I don't want to be in court for protection orders. I don't want to be in court for he said, she said. I just want to divorce her." And they said, "Well, take this police report, and then maybe that'll help you in your divorce." And then and then I took off. I went to my doctor's. I wrapped up there. I went to my therapist. I wrapped up there, and that's when I left North Carolina for good. I only
So-
came back with you to get my stuff in December. Then we had to go back for court. That's it. Both times she was by my side.
Yeah.
Both
Never
times.
was I not.
Yeah.
And that's why, you know, if someone can go live and review our stuff, and someone else can go live and drag the hell out of him and theirs relationship and whatever, I'm here to tell you, Trisha, he can talk about you as well.
Yep. And so
So-
Let It Go said, and she was texting you to come back, right? Here's how it would work, Let It Go. And I wasn't watching her, but every so often I would get a text that said, "I'm over this," or you know, "Becca's calling, you're her dad."
Hey, hello.
She would text that. What I was taught in like a narcissist support group was, when that happens, just wait 24 hours before you do anything. Just wait 24 hours. And within that 24 hours, if you don't respond right away, she's going to go right back to attacking you.
And she did.
Give it a second and watch. And if we're wrong, we're wrong. And that's exactly what would happen. So the difference was I never responded. I didn't start playing that game. How many of you guys have been in bad relationships and you know you're done, but then you start that game on texting. You start this little tit for tat back and forth. The biggest thing you can do is just not do that. And then you'll stay with your heart, and you'll understand what you need to do.
Yeah.
So
That
that's
no
what-
woman that loves their husband would treat their husband, Sean, the way Trisha treated you. I've been watching you guys for years, and thank you for your service. That's
Thank
what
you.
it comes down to. And that's what kind of said when we went live. It's like, I kind of make whatever you think of him or me or how we came together, whatever. It was like, just watch us and give us the chance to show you who we are. All of them we may tell these stories about her and tell the stories about this person and this, but believe us who we are, and then make your own decision.
Yep.
Make your own decision. You may still not like us,
Yep.
and a lot of people didn't. A lot of people were like, "I don't care," and still didn't like us.
There's a couple other situations we've seen, and it was on another platform where people were getting out of relationships and jumping into other relationships, and their advice for the people was, "Don't do that. Take your time. blah blah blah. Learn to live by yourself. And I'm lurking in these chats, and I have to like, well, I got to be quiet because I didn't do that. But Mandy will say, you know, when love walks in,
Yeah.
it just
It
I
takes-
felt
there's
so hard for her.
And me too.
It was like, yeah, I'm going to Austin. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I have feelings with her. Yes, we've discussed it. But when I came face to face with her, by the next day, do you remember when we were like,
Yes.
when we were in the back of of the Chrysler, we hadn't even done anything yet. She crawled up into my arms and put her head right there. And I just remember looking out the window and saying, "Oh Lord, oh dear,"
I had been
because
like-
I knew how hard I was falling.
I had been nervous the night before just because I wanted to make sure I got there on time and this and that. So I was pretty tired, but I was also very in love. I don't know what made me decide to lay on him, and I don't know how I fell asleep. And it wasn't very long that I slept, but it solidified that we are comfortable and we trust each other.
But there was no. It was nothing sexual, and that was the thing that was so fulfilling. Is she crawled up into my arms and put her head right here and just fell asleep, and it fulfilled an emptiness. I mean, it's okay to fill your emptiness with sex. I mean,
Which we did.
I'm gonna smash this, but
Me too.
it's the intimate moments besides the actual
Right,
sex that I had been missing.
yeah.
I hadn't had sex either, but those other moments are what fill the heart.
Yeah.
Sex is it. I always say sex is like pizza. When it's good, it's mind blowing. When it's bad, still pretty good.
It's still
It's
pizza.
sex, and it's like, yeah. But when the
Yes.
moments, all the other little intimate moments that are not sexual moments, but
Yes.
they're still intimate, those are the things that fill you up.
And that's, if we ever show this one vlog that when he first went when we parted ways the very, very first time, and I made him this thing, and I was like, I'm ugly crying and you're gonna have to listen to this. And I said, everything was great, but it's the little things. It was watching baseball. It was when we laughed at whatever. It was this. That's what I'm mourning the loss of. And we had been together for 4 days, and we'd only been apart for an hour.
Like when I was
For an hour.
when I was single, when I was separated and single,
Yeah.
I was doing things by myself. Sure, I was with my daughters and I was with my family, but when I would go to card shops, it would be by myself.
Yeah.
When I would go to the mall, it'd be by myself. I had never, ever, ever, ever in my life, never in my 50 years of existence, walked into a card shop with my partner and have them be just as excited to be there as I was.
I was.
It was mind blowing.
He
I
was
like,
so excited. And you know what? I had money to blow. And he had, I was like, you know, he bought some stuff, but I bought some stuff for him too. And I had already brought cards with me, because what I told him when we crossed over and we got together, I said, we are going to rebuild that collection that she threw away, and we're going to get more. And I have tried to do that.
yeah.
And he now has a collection, and he has some left.
Yeah.
But when he goes in and organizes his cards and he puts them into protectors and he has stuff to do,
Yeah.
that's everything.
It's a level of honor when she respects that. Never had it. I mean, sure. My parents know it was my hobby and this and that, but they don't have my passion. So Mandy sits back or like goes to the store and she comes back with a box of cards. They might not even be really good cards, but it's the fact that she
Yeah.
did it.
But they're usually good cards because I know what he likes.
She knows now, but at first she was like this and that. But it's the fact that she did it,
Yeah.
and she'd sit back with this look. She was beaming, to watch me go through them and to talk about them and stuff like that. And it certainly didn't hurt that her uncle was a professional baseball player. So.
Let me catch up on a couple of these.
Yeah.
Rhonda says you have to realize that if the boyfriend wants to be involved in the porn vids, that's step and fetch, and you're right. Me and my husband have been married 22 plus years, and I still get goosebumps when I cuddle with my husband, and that is how it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
Trisha hates to see other people happy because she hates herself. It's sad.
They have a narc has a hole and an emptiness that they cannot fill. They cannot fill it with money. They cannot fill it with anything.
Oh.
It's
Hiking.
It's got to be hard to. It's got to be. I mean, that'd be awful to feel that way all the time.
Right. Hold on. Let me look something up. Hiking. You're right. I forgot you were in Texas right now. So much has happened. Hold on.
Well, they're in Galveston this week, but we had
Manville. Where's Manville?
the party that we were having with your parents that we couldn't do it. But
Yeah, but I know. But
Where
what I'm
is
saying
Manville?
is, yeah, well that party
I'll look it
ended
up.
up being a shit show. I should have not been there because let me tell you, when my aunt gets drunk.
Yeah.
Anyways, but let me look.
Manville, like Marvel, right?
Manville, yeah. How far is it from here?
200 miles. It's about 3 hours.
How
out.
long are you there? Hold on, I need to catch up. I know you told me that.
Here it is. I got it right here.
An hour closer to you, when I saw her. So just
South
a
of
little
Houston.
past. I'm gonna Facebook message you when we get off here, and because we could make it happen. How much longer are you there? Yeah, I'm gonna message you after this. I gotta go on to Facebook to do it, and that's why I'm so bad. But I'm gonna answer my Facebook messages. Oh, I love it. Y'all's stories and telling us about you are so sweet on Tuesday morning. Okay.
They're leaving Tuesday?
Yeah, let me look at when we get off, I'll message you. And
So we'd have to go tomorrow.
yeah, it could happen. If
Might-
that's
maybe.
okay. Well, let me message you offline and I bet we could do it. We'll do one hell of a collab or just have fun in the pool or whatever.
See, look, we could avoid the Houston traffic if we went this way too.
See,
It's
he's
only
such
like
he's
it's only
such
like a minute longer if we go down and we go through LaGrange.
Okay.
If we go through Bastrop, not on 280, but that's just the way we go. If we get on
Okay.
71 and then hit 10 and then go down this way, and
He's such a little old man.
I know. At Sealy,
Let's get his atlas.
if we catch Highway 36 at Sealy, it'll take us there, and then go through Rosenberg,
We'll go through
and
Rosenberg.
we can do it.
I'm
Sugarland.
serious. Oh, Sugarland is where, not the group, but maybe. But it's kind of a cool little town.
Sugarland, they have an independent baseball league too, where they
Who
have
is-
4 teams. It's called Team Texas. It's
Who
4
is
teams.
on the way from Austin to Manville? Just kidding. We don't have enough time to stop everywhere, but maybe we'll
You know who I know. You know who I think is the
Bye, Colleen.
what's her name with the monkey, with the little monkey. She does.
Oh, Laura.
No.
Lisa
Lisa.
Duncan. Yeah.
Lisa Duncan is.
Stub her up. She has a new baby monkey and she does cute little streams or whatever. But I am gonna, once again, like we always say,
We could do it in 3 hours and 12 minutes.
I want Taco Bell. Everybody tell Sean to go get me Taco Bell.
I'll bring it home from work.
No, I don't want it home from work. He doesn't work at Taco Bell, but if he did, that would even be better. He works for Grubhub. He loves it, and
Oh no! It's DoorDash.
well, there you go. They'll call.
Doesn't matter.
Anyways, you
or
guys,
Grubhub,
I am gonna jump
Uber
off.
Eats.
Yeah, I had a good time. We had a really good conversation, and at the end of the day, it's for us, is about us, and it's about sharing it with you. And the other crap that sneaks in, I'm gonna really make it a priority to, like, if she can, why we get our trademark and stuff. If someone reviews us and talks about us, I'm just gonna nicely ask that you not send me the screenshots and the clips, because I don't know about it unless it's sent to me. And I know you send it to me. This is everyone, no one specific. I know you send it to me with the best of intentions, but what happens is I hear something that's said about him that I ended up being like, I got to address. And when I do that, I feed the monster, which is Telfer, and I need to stop feeding the monster. So we are squaring away with our trademark and with our registering our name to take care of it. But if she pops back on live and streams us, just number one, don't watch it, and number two, it's up to you to watch it. I just don't need the screenshots and the clips.
It's really the only thing she's got left is to try to pick at.
Right now, she can only tweet, and I know the person that sent me the screenshots, you want me to just have them, and I appreciate it. But her in particular, I don't want them anymore because I can't continue to feed the monster. So what I do with my new friend, which I think she's a good person, no matter what everybody else, she's my friend, with Arabia, as far as what she says about us or me, I don't want to know. And the other thing is Christina from Flint.
Jenny's like, Shauna's already making travel plans. The snake is ready to swim.
There you go.
Yeah, I'm already on the,
Christina from Flint. I know that you are lobbying for people to unsubscribe to me and to do all this. When you do that on Telfer's behalf, you are furthering the claims that she has the mentality where she sends her people to stalk, punish, and harass other YouTubers and tweeters. You, by doing that on her behalf, are making her have a harder time in proving that she is not an internet stalker and harasser. So keep doing it for me. Keep doing it for me, because someone's getting the screenshots that are. So if you want to, it doesn't bother me. It doesn't have anything to do with it. But she's nicely asked you guys to stop tweeting and doing things like that because it's hurting her case.
Hey,
And
Steve.
with that,
Steve's here.
Steve walked in at the end. Hey, Steve.
Right at the end.
Anyway, that's my point about that, just because those are two things I wanted to say, but I'm glad y'all have our backs. Don't make yourself a target for her, because once she latches onto you, she'll dox you and do everything else, because she's such a miserable person. And this is Telfer, not the beast. Anyway, remember that what other people think about you is none of your business. I'm trying to really live that now. It's none of your business, my business. But when all those go on private in my recovery vlogs, I have a membership and it's monetized. Thank you, girl. I love you.
Drama
Thank you for doing
pays.
it. That is
Drama
the
pays.
best gift you could have given to me, because your channel is having issues, but mine will flourish. Have a good one.
Okay.
I
Snake. That was an. Oh, you want to do the snake? Oh, I have a little snake. The snake. I have a little snake in me. I'm a snake. A slitherin. See you guys.